Hey guys, it's Tarot and Beyond. In today's Pick a Card reading, we're going to be using some new Oracle decks that were just sent in by some subscribers. So I want to say thank you to Toy, Donna, and Cooley. And if you guys are interested in the Holistic Oracle, which is by Cooley, I will leave the links in the description box below for those. So today we're doing messages that you need to hear using these new decks. We're just going to find out what Spirit wants you to know and how you can apply that in your life. So we have 4 groups to choose from today. If you feel called to Group 1, it's the Holistic Oracle. Group 2 is the Oracle of Roses. Group 2 is the Divine Time Oracle deck. And group number 3 is the Voices of the Souls Oracle. So select your Oracle deck and use the timestamps below or the chapters to jump ahead to your chosen reading or readings. If you feel called to more than one, that just may mean there's messages in multiple readings that are meant for you. Take what resonates and leave the rest. We'll see you in your readings. All right, hi, group number 1. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Holistic Oracle, this is a galactic version about becoming a conscious creator by channeling the vision of your life every day, nurturing your relationship with your soul to access your cosmic identity. So this is the deck and the artwork created by Cooley, and you can access the information at cooley.art on Instagram. Okay, so let's take a look and explore. This is my first time ever connecting to the deck. Let's make sure we have all the cards out there. And I'll set that to the side. We'll see. We might use this. Yeah, I'll just leave it here. Okay. Nice. So, group number 1, let's find out what your messages are from the Holistic Oracle. Protection. Okay. That's beautiful. Look at that artwork. Wow. So I feel, and I like how you can reverse it either way too. So it's like either way, it's protection, up or down. So I feel like there's protection for you, group number 1, at the physical level and at the spiritual level. And it's probably going to show up in a multitude of ways. I'm seeing almost like a feather in this artwork. So it feels like you're going to get feathers, or you've been seeing, or you will be seeing feathers as a symbol of protection. So maybe you're finding feathers on the road in front of you, or on the, on the sidewalk, or around your home. Even sometimes I'll find little down feathers that have come out of my pillow or my duvet or something like that. And I know that when they've made their way into my kitchen or some other room of the house, it's Spirit's way of protecting and letting you know that they're there. Clear aura. A clear aura is the highest form of protection, because when it comes to anything that we don't want in our auric field, the only way that it can actually get in, like when we're talking about psychic attacks and really intense stuff like that, the only way that those things can actually exist within our reality is if on some level we resonate with it internally. Maybe it's a subconscious program, maybe it's a fear, maybe it's something else, or a wound from the past. But it's like if we resonate with it on some level, it means we have an access point to it within our auric field. So a clear aura and a clear soul blueprint is the highest order of protection. So I feel like the guidance from Spirit here is to clear your aura, because this is going to help protect you. Life force. Yeah, because it's also going to enhance your life force. The stronger your vital force energy is, the more smoothly it transitions and moves through your aura, the more protected you are. And I've seen this clairvoyantly working with people energetically for, all the time that I have. I see weak life forces with a lot of dross, which is like mental or emotional or other kinds of backup of energy, being more susceptible to negative attacks, or even like not even negative attacks from the outside. It's kind of like it manifests as a result symptomatically of what's going on internally. And so I'm seeing you, group number 1, being guided to really focus on clearing out your life force energy, really maybe doing some energy work, energy healing, anything that keeps your aura clean, doing a spiritual bath, protection cleansing sprays, mists, smoke, whatever you need to do on a daily basis to keep your energy and your aura clean. Potential. This is going to unlock your potential. And I'm seeing that this potential has kind of been tapped out recently, maybe because there was some energy going on within your field that was draining you, or that was, causing you to become low energy, low life force. Maybe it manifested physically in certain ways, but I'm seeing that your potential is going to be unlocked as you enhance your auric field and you strengthen it. Sensitivity. Okay, so I see this a lot, especially working one-on-one with certain clients and even within my own life, that when we are highly sensitive beings, oftentimes what will happen is that we let in a lot energetically. So if you identify as an empath or you have like high level empathy or sensitivity at the energetic level, what this is going to do is let in a lot, which means that you need to be even more diligent about your auric cleansing and your spiritual hygiene. So this is something that we need to be doing just as much as we do our physical hygiene within our homes and in our bodies. It's like we have to be that diligent with it because you're absorbing a lot, group number one, and you need to protect yourself from the inside out by keeping that space clean. Okay, I was going to go in with another deck and they're saying, no, just keep going with this one. So that's what we're going to do. Abundance. Wow. I love these cards, the brilliant artwork and the bright colors, the clear messages. I really vibe with this. Thank you so much, Cooley. It took a while for this deck to come, but it finally made its way here in divine timing. And it's funny because the other deck that came at the same time as this one is the Divine Time Oracle deck. So that's pretty cool. Transmutation. So this is another form of spiritual cleansing that you can do, group number one, to create more abundance energetically, which will then translate to the physical. Because any type of abundance that we're talking about at the physical level, whether it's time, energy, money, love, all of these things are indicative and come from the life force energy. They come from our vital force. If our vital force is low, that's going to make all of these other areas limited as well. So I'm seeing you transmuting, which is the process of taking something and turning it into something else, taking dark energy, turning it into light, taking fear, turning it into faith, taking sadness or grief, turning it into love. I mean, actually, that's kind of what it is already, but it's just shifting how you are anchoring to that energy on the polarity spectrum. Choice. It is a free will choice as to how you perceive things, how you interpret them, what you allow into your field, what you believe to be true about you and the world around you, what you believe you are capable of in terms of your potential. So there's something about being able to release some limitations here, group number one, to release limitations and fulfill your full potential by basically being an anchor for this light to come into you and embody through you by keeping your auric field very, very clear. This is going to lead to bliss, like spiritual bliss, when you're anchoring that level of light into your body. Sometimes it's in a brief moment, a transcendent experience, and sometimes you can have that stay for longer. If you're a highly sensitive person, being in your own energy is probably something that you've had to work really hard to get to, because it's like there's layers and layers and layers of other people's energy and other people's thoughts and other people's emotions layered up in your field. From the people around you, from the time that you were a kid, you probably absorbed all of this, group number one, and even just some of the collective stuff, like collective layers of the conscious and unconscious mind. You're very sensitive to all of those things is what I'm feeling. And so any of this potential bliss that you can and should be able to tap into may have been blocked because of some of the heaviness that was being weighed down in your aura. But I'm seeing that especially lately, if you've been doing energy work, this is shifting things for you. So there's tons of ways you can do energy work. You can get Reiki healing. You can practice that on yourself. You can receive it from a practitioner, or even just there's a lot of YouTube channels out here these days that share Reiki. You can use different solfeggio scale frequencies to heal and to shift and cleanse your auric field. Like I said, you can use sage, smoke, crystals, salt baths, sprays. Like there's so many different ways. And even just visualizing white light through your field, anchoring to that white light and cleansing and purifying the body that way once a day. Really super quick and easy. Introspection. So I was just talking about visualization, and I'm seeing that the more that you introspect and you understand and come to Be very clear on who you are, what your energy feels like when it's uninterrupted, when it's not being influenced by anything outside of you. That's when you'll be able to really access your true self, which is where all of this untapped potential really lies. And it's just this process of like clearing out all of the dross from other people, from circumstance, from the environment, from the collective, like the entire world. I'm seeing you being able to make that choice and choose to live freely in this state of perpetual bliss is actually what Spirit just said. Like I heard the phrase perpetual bliss. Now, my human mind just went into resistance and started being like, no, that's not possible, like blah, blah, blah. But the spirit in me that's channeling through me when I do these readings is saying, no, that's totally possible. It's actually very probable. And it's what you came here to do. It's what you're meant to be. It's what your natural state is. And it's just by removing all these different layers of disturbances and getting back to our base frequency, our true home within ourselves, that's when we start to feel more bliss. On the bottom of the deck, we have life and fifth dimension. Life in the fifth dimension. This is what it's supposed to feel like. This is what new earth frequency is. So, I mean, this is making sense to me, but like my human ego still wants to be in resistance to it. So I feel like that's just like a common thing, right? But I think this is what the choice card's talking about here. It's like you have a choice as to how you use your life force energy, which is basically like what you choose to believe in, what you choose to focus on, that's what's going to manifest, because that's where we're putting the life force energy. And life force energy is the creative force that literally creates everything. So if we are misusing our life force energy by believing in things that are self-detrimental or limiting in some way, then like maybe we see our sensitivity as a detriment rather than as a gift. I've definitely been there myself, being a highly sensitive soul. It's hard sometimes in the 3D world. We come from the fifth dimension. We're not meant to be like, we don't operate at that 3D level. We're meant to be here, but it's hard sometimes to break free from the constructs or the limitations of the 3D. So I'm seeing you making this choice, introspecting and unlocking this like pearl of wisdom within you. That's kind of what this just looked like to me for a second there, is like a pearl of wisdom that's glowing from within you that you are tapping into, which unlocks this higher potential and this perspective shift to be able to use and exercise your free will from a more empowered standpoint. And I'm seeing you then unlocking untold abundance from within you. Like it's just the creative life force. That's what abundance is. It can manifest in the physical and the 3D in different ways, like I was saying before. But the real core of it is just this state of being that allows you to do whatever it is that you want to. And to experience a state of being that is not limited. So abundance is this feeling of, I have everything I need within me. I am happy right now. I am in a state of bliss. I'm able to transmute and clear out anything that is in my way or that I have absorbed that is not mine or that is darker that I don't want to be there. And that is the highest form of protection. Like I said, it comes from the inside out. So group number one, I mean, I'm really seeing you manifesting a new beginning in how you create and shape your reality, living in this higher timeline, this higher fifth dimensional expression of self, because you are choosing of your own free will to interpret things from that higher vantage point and to do the spiritual and physical work that is involved in getting and staying in that state of internal abundance. Okay, let's just get a few more to fill out the last row. Profusion. Ooh. Can I fit all of these? I think so. Profusion. Okay. Encounter. I feel like you're going to encounter someone who helps to heal something in your heart chakra, group number one. This could be a person or it could be a situation, but it's like it catalyzes the clearing, specifically at the heart chakra is what I'm seeing. And this allows the light to move through you more freely. This unlocks the fifth dimensional frequency. Yep, there's confirmation again. It went back in and it came back out, fifth dimension. And I literally just said that word for word. So thank you, Spirit, for confirming. That's what's coming through. So you are going to be, I'm hearing the word flushed, like you're getting a flush of the system energetically, anything that was creating blockages or barriers within you at the soul blueprint level, within the pain body, within the mental body, the astral body, like these different layers of the light self, the soul self. I'm seeing you getting kind of like a big, I'm hearing atomic flush. Okay. The atoms are like the core of our being. Yeah. So you're getting an atomic flush is what Spirit said. Divine breath. Maybe this is through some kind of breath work as well. Breath work is how we get vital force energy into the body. I mean, it's not the only way, but it's one of the main ways and the most simple ways of doing it. So as we inhale, we're bringing vital force energy into the body. As we hold it, it infuses into our cells at that atomic level. And then as we exhale, we're expanding out the auric field. Freedom, liberation, coming from transmutation. So keep your eyes peeled, group number 1, for an encounter with somebody who gets you to really deeply introspect into your belief sets or your choices around how you express your vital force energy. And this could have been something that was limiting your life previously. Like maybe you gave too much of your energy away to other people. Maybe you dealt with energy vampires. Maybe you were an energy sponge and then you never cleaned out that sponge, so it got really dirty and backed up. And then you dealt with maybe like health issues or something, or like mental or emotional backlog. I'm seeing you be freed from whatever this is through a solution that comes to you very clearly from the divine. Ooh, on the bottom we have awakening. Very clearly from the divine through this awakening that is triggered or catalyzed by somebody around you. Somebody who themselves have a very clear aura, like they've worked really hard to keep their aura clean or to get it to that point of clarity. So this person is basically like a very clear mirror for you to see yourself. And then in doing so, you're able to free yourself from the things that are not you, that have built up. And sometimes when we have a lot of not us energy in us, it's hard to identify what is us and what's not. And so we kind of take it on and we start to integrate it, even though it's not part of who we are. So I'm seeing you being able to shed these many, many layers of accumulated dross in the energy field, many, many layers of distortions and things that actually skewed how you saw yourself and how you moved through life and how you were able to express your full potential. This is a beautiful thing, group number 1. And I'm feeling called to read the awakening card actually out of the book. So let's see if we can find that. Okay, awakening. A new wave of energy is entering you, pushing aside everything, ending a cycle which is ready to go into decay. A plasma wave of information that flows through us and makes us a channel for ourselves. Yeah, so it's saying it's like you've reached the end of something, you've gone through it all, and now it's time to stop in order to move on. Resting for a while is fine, accepting your limitations, whatever they are, without guilt, because in the end, you will accept and adapt to this new rhythm and live differently. Yeah, your whole life is about to change, group number 1. Like you're tapping into this full level potential that you've never really fully seen before within yourself. You're awakening to new layers of yourself, your deeper awareness. Every ending brings a new beginning. There's a greater plan within your existence and a larger purpose unfolding in your life. This card speaks of the awakening of the human being to the spiritual dimensions and about the end of the grip of the ego or mental. It speaks precisely about the great awakening, the transition taking us from this density to a more ethereal density. Your subconscious mind yearns to heal itself and become whole with your conscious mind. Similar to the World card in the tarot, the last, or rather penultimate before the Fool, it encompasses and synthesizes the whole of experience on Earth, the end of a cycle. Are you awakened yet? Oh, cool. She even has some stuff here about pituitary gland, QHHT, regressive quantum hypnosis sessions to end a cycle of repetitive patterns ingrained in your childhood or other lives. Galactic astro is Pisces and Neptune. Archangel Gabriel could be significant. I actually watched a show earlier today and somebody's name in that show was Gabriel. Christ and Christ consciousness, energy of the Arcturians could be significant here as well. Yeah, modulating your frequency, raising your frequency. Pisces energy. Okay, so that is what we have, group number 1. What a cool reading. I'm really glad that this deck came in after a while of waiting for and, going back and forth with Cooley via email. I'm really glad it finally made its way here from France. Thank you so much, Cooley, for this amazing gift and for allowing us to use these cards in the reading. Again, if you guys are interested in the deck, I will leave links in the description box below for you to access the information you need. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I hope you enjoyed the reading, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye. All right, hi, group number 2. You chose the Oracle of the Roses. So let's dive into this deck together. This will be my first time using it. As you can see, it's like fresh out the box. I love that new deck feel. So I will set that to the side. All right, so general messages and guidance from Spirit for group number 2. Wow, oh my gosh, look, I didn't even notice. That's beautiful. I love that holographic pink. Okay, I feel like I need to give this a good shuffle. Oh, as I say that, I feel drawn to pull this card. We have the Democrat, Carolina Rose. The Democrat. The Architect, Woods Rose. The Challenger, Scotch Rose. The Pioneer, Prickly Rose. And the Alchemist. Okay, so we'll get more, but I just kind of want to start with these and get a bit of an idea of what the message is here for you, group 2. So right away, I'm feeling like there's something that you are launching into, group number 2, something that you are called to kind of like put out into the world or to activate within yourself or within your community. It's like you've been creating something. You've been manifesting, you've been working. I'm seeing something about behind the scenes, working behind the scenes, and you may have had to be a little bit specific in how you did this. It's like you had to be almost like a politician where you don't want to say anything that would implicate you in a particular way. Like you wouldn't want to say something that could be misconstrued. So you have to be careful with how you say. It's almost like being a little bit non-committal, not wanting to get into debates with people or to, not to like put yourself in a position that would compromise your goal, but still needing to do this or wanting to do this with integrity. Okay. The Father, Mountain Rose. Yeah, I thought there was 2. It's just 1. Okay. The Father. A relationship with a father could be significant here. The Flirt, Sweet Briar Rose. The Ancestor, Cherokee Rose. Yeah, the father's line could be significant. The Hero. Yeah, this is definitely masculine energy. Okay. And the Liberator. Wow. Okay, so group number 2. I'm seeing you liberating yourself, the Explorer on the bottom. You're liberating yourself from a situation where you may have been kind of like entrapped in a political debate, if you will, between different sides of your family or different past parts of yourself, different experiences that you've had. And there's something specific, like I was getting here with the father, to do with the family line and the patriarchal side of that line, or the paternal side of that line, I should say. But the fact that I said patriarchal could be significant as well, because that's kind of like the societal construct that we live within. And a lot of politics is like that as well. And you've got the Democrats. So I'm getting this energy of like needing to challenge the status quo and be a leader in a field within your work or within your family or just within yourself that allows you to break free and alchemize some of these limitations of the past that may have been imposed upon you or may have been even integrated into you through that ancestral DNA line. And it's like you're liberating yourself from that and you're anchoring in the real authentic frequency, which is you being free to explore and expand and to enhance your own life, create your own life, build your own life as the architect, rather than being challenged constantly by other people's framework or constructs for what they believe that you think you should do. Whether this is directly coming from a parental figure or this is more abstract in the sense that it's like the entire framework of society saying that you need to do things a certain way because that's how society does it. So I'm seeing you be a pioneer here in regard to breaking free from that status quo, that organization, or that, that way of thinking. It's like you're freeing yourself, and in doing so, I feel like you're going to be taking people with you, The example that's coming to mind is like somebody being stuck in an environment that is heavily male dominant. And let's say, for example, this isn't even about gender, but this is the example that's coming through, that there's a woman who feels really out of place in that environment because it's not really set up for her. It's built around the men in the company, or the men in the way that they work and the way that they operate. And the female functioning is a lot different. Our cycles are different, our rhythms are different, our brain waves are different, we use different parts of our brains. Like there's a huge fundamental difference. Like men are from Mars, women are from Venus, you know the drill. So I feel like there's this energy of, okay, this doesn't work for me, and because I can't change the system, I'm going to do things my own way by essentially creating a system that works for me in a separate environment. So the example, hypothetically, would be that this woman leaves the company, starts her own company, and starts integrating more female-based practices. And so that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting, and it doesn't have to be about male or female. It's just more so the energy of pioneering your own way and not doing things in a way that has been set up for you, especially if that way that has been set up for you doesn't work for you. And I'm seeing you exploring different paths about how this might present, how you might adapt and change, or how you can change the systems to work for you. The rebel, this is what I'm saying, like you're rebelling against the status quo. I'm getting that so strongly, group number 2. This is the message, and Spirit is encouraging you to really kind of take stock of what systems and structures you have in your life, from your daily routine to maybe it's like a 9-to-5 job, or there's something about work. I keep getting something about work here, and suiting it better to you and your natural state of being, or your natural inclinations or rhythms. It's like not doing it because society says you have to do it that way, or not doing it because your parents or somebody else or your lineage says you have to do it that way. It's really forging your own path. And I'm seeing that be very satisfying for you. But there may have been a period, or there may be challenge that comes along with this. It's like people are going to kick back when you start to make changes, even if it's better for you. People will try to protect you from what's good for you sometimes without realizing that that's what they're doing. They'll dissuade you because they've never done it that way before. And so they have no precedent for it, or they have no basis for it. So they're afraid that you might fail, or that something could go wrong. And this is where it really takes a lot of courage to be the pioneer and to rebel against something that doesn't feel right for you, and doing it your own way, very authentically. You do have to kind of stand up for what you believe. I'm seeing, actually, clairvoyantly, they're showing me Rosa Parks. Yeah, refusing to sit at the back of the bus. So there's like an activist type of energy here as well. and how you are basically being an activist, an advocate for yourself in your life. The healer. This is part of your healing journey, group number 2. This is what's going to help you to grow past the limitations of what you thought was possible for you. And I'm seeing that you've been like flirting with this idea for a long time. Like maybe you had inclinations about this when you were younger. Maybe, you know, the rebel years when we're teenagers, we're individuating from the parental figures, we're finding our way, we're asserting our dominance or control of our life, sometimes a little too much, but we're exploring, right? We're experimenting. We're getting to discover who we are and what we need, what we like, what we don't like. So I'm seeing this has been something you've wanted to do or had ideas about for a really long time. But it's kind of like you hadn't fully committed to it yet, or you didn't know how this was going to go. The Sage, General Washington Rose, General Washington. Yeah, there's something about, like in your ancestry that was very almost militarized is the energy that I'm getting. Like the general makes me think of military, and the political also makes me think of military. So, and challenger. Yeah. So I'm feeling like there was some kind of, maybe even a literal military background in your history, or there's just that type of masculine dominant energy that needs to be healed. Yeah, there's wisdom to be gained from that, but there's also transmutation that needs to happen. And you can use that aligned masculine energy to forge your own path. But it's like integrating the divine feminine energy as the healer to be able to rebel against things that have really imposed themselves upon you in an unhealthy way. The child. Yeah, this is definitely something from childhood, group number 2. The father, the child, ancestors, the hero. You know, a lot of the time when we're kids, we see our parents as heroes, as gods and goddesses, as, you know, these beings that can do no wrong. And we really integrate what they say, what they model, and how they treat us as truth, and or the systems or structures that they live and work within as truth. So there's something about like going back to childhood and unpacking some of the programming that happened very unconsciously and liberating yourself from different and old ways of thinking. It's like getting out of the box that your mind and the reality that you were kind of born into may have inlaid into your system, into your programming, you know? The warrior, I had a feeling, yeah, there's something about military, but I think that the positive way of doing this would be to liberate yourself by becoming the inner warrior that alchemizes the things that try to or seek to control you or limit you or get you to get in line, and instead doing things your own way, which takes great courage. This makes you a warrior, but in a different way. Like you're not a warrior for the system. You're now a warrior for yourself. And I'm seeing this be the most healing thing that you can do. We have the lover, bourbon rose. So this is the most healing thing that you can do because it's going to unlock your zest for life, your love for yourself, possibly for your family, like appreciating where you came from, but not letting that limit you. Acknowledging those that came before you, your ancestors, and what they managed to achieve or accomplish based on their own programming, but not taking it into the point that you become obscured behind these windows of the past. We have the mystic as well. Yeah, I feel like I needed to talk about this one because, and the ruler, the mystic and the ruler, I feel like you are definitely meant to live an unconventional life, group number 2, at least unconventional by traditional standards, or by your family's standards, or by even society's standards, perhaps. Yeah, it could be that for sure. And it might be politically incorrect for you to live this different alternate lifestyle or have these different habits, or maybe it's a more spiritually based life, which really, as we know, doesn't necessarily jive with the 3D agenda. So there's a certain level of inner rebellion that comes from that, but it is this transmutation of these old ways. It's healing the inner child and honoring your truth. And that makes you very strong, group number 2, very, very strong, and able to trust yourself to heal and transmute pain of the past and turn it into power to shape and create your reality going forward. So take the leap, group number 2. Spirit is encouraging you to pioneer a new path for yourself. Just because a path doesn't exist doesn't mean it's not the way. You create that path for yourself. And as I said, that I was seeing 1444 on the recording time. So this is Spirit's confirmation, and the angels are backing you up here in regard to this coding that's unlocking the stability to be able to work hard and forge your own way. And working hard, maybe it's not even about working hard. Maybe that's the old system. Maybe it's about working smart or working easy or path of least resistance that allows you to build a foundation that is very stable. So it's like challenging these ways of thinking and really doing some high-level metacognition on what you really want to believe and why you believe what you believe, and kind of detaching from those different layers of the programming so that you can be truly free and liberate yourself from any mental matrices, group number 2. This is really cool. So challenge all of your thoughts, challenge all of your beliefs, challenge what the people who came before you believed, and test out whether it still holds true for you. There are certain things that we would still want to keep and carry with us. Like, we don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, but there are certain things that can be thrown out. There are certain things that we don't need anymore that may be hindering progress or limiting your authentic expression. So I'm seeing you being able to challenge those ideas, forge your own way, and be an independent thinker. And by doing so, create and shape a life that feels truly authentic to you. So that is the main message, group number 2. If you were drawn to this group, you are meant to lead a movement, even if it's only a movement of one. And really, because what that's doing when you shift and change your life like that, you are creating a ripple effect out into the generational line. 7 generations back, 7 generations forward, whether or not you have kids, your life matters in the collective consciousness and the imprint that is left by your existence. So take stock and have faith in your path unfolding before you and your ability to choose that path for yourself. All right, group number 2, that is what I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thank you so much to the donor who sent in this beautiful rose deck to us. I'm so deeply grateful. I absolutely love it. Thank you guys again for all of your support here on the channel in the various ways that you do. The donation decks, super thanks, likes, shares, all of it is absolutely amazing, and I thank you deeply. I love you guys, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right. Hi, group number 3. Welcome to your reading. You chose the Divine Time Oracle. I'm actually really excited for this reading. I'm not sure why. I've just kind of had this vibe that this reading is going to be really cool. All right. So let's get these out of the way. Ooh, yeah, I'm excited for this one. This is going to be cool. So for group number 3, what is the message that Spirit wants to tell you today when you're truly ready for it? When I heard when you're truly ready for it, that's when it will come in. So if you've been waiting for something, if you've been working towards something, group number 3, it's like when you are truly ready for it, it cannot help but come into your reality. So if it's not there, it means you're on some level not fully ready for it yet. Maybe you're like 99.99% of the way ready, and you're like, it feels like I'm ready, but there's something that just needs to click into place first, is kind of what I'm getting here. Obsessing over timing creates blocks. Yes, it does. Let me tell you guys, I have lived that. I have learned that. I have seen that in client sessions. You know, back in the day, I when I used to do personal tarot readings and stuff, sometimes people would message me with this urgency, like, I need a reading now. And it was those readings that actually ended up getting delayed or pushed back, or there was a need to reschedule, or if it was pre-recorded, it would take me forever to film it because there was all of these glitches and errors that went wrong. And I was like, why is this happening, Spirit? And then they told me it's the other person's energy is so urgent that it's creating blocks. Like, there's so much resistance in their energy. There's like no surrender. There's no trust. It's all coming from fear and ego gum up the works. So it's like it throws a wrench into the works and makes it actually go slower. So it really backfires when you start obsessing over timing. It creates these blocks that really don't need to be there. And I remember one time I emailed back the client and explained this to her, and she got even more upset. And I was like, I'm sorry, like it is what it is, Okay, but that's funny that we're talking about don't obsess over the timing, and then we have within a couple of months. So here's another thing that I've learned about timing and divine timing. Everything is in divine timing. Like, when I have a set idea of how something's going to go, even just down to like a client session, like we have it booked to a particular day, and all of a sudden it gets rescheduled and I'm freaking out. My ego is like, I don't want to have that person be upset with me, or there's something that's out of my control and it's stressing me out. And the reason I'm mentioning this is I think because this is directly related to something possibly work related, or something that you've been wanting to get done, or that you had a schedule on. And in those circumstances, what I've known over these years is like every time that I just relax and surrender that there's a reason that this is being delayed, or there's a reason that it didn't work out on that particular timing, and that it will work out in exactly the right timing. Every time that I have just completely sort of like thrown my hands in the air and been like, okay, Spirit, you take the wheel because you know best when this needs to happen. It always happened in such impeccable timing, with like these magical synchronicities where everything came together. And if we had done it at any point earlier than that, it would not have been as significant. So there's something within the next couple of months, group number 3, that is going to be significant and needed to wait until this point. Now, the other thing with divine timing is that Spirit will only bring through timing, like clear timing, if it helps to further the timeline and the progression of what is creating or being created, or if you are meant to know that time because it will catalyze or activate something within you. Around July. Wow. Okay. So the time that I'm filming this, these are all timeless readings, but the time that I'm filming this is in May. And that is a couple of months away. So July is a couple of months away. So this is very clear, group number 3, that something that you may have had some resistance to, maybe this is something you have a lot of emotional attachment to, or something that you've been waiting on for a long time, but it's like you had to be fully ready. You had to be truly ready for what this was, because if it came at any point before that, it wouldn't have been as magical, or it wouldn't have been as impactful or powerful, or you wouldn't have been the person that you need to be with the context that you need to have to fully integrate and honor that experience. Ooh, within a couple of days. And I heard something's happening. Okay, so group number 3, something is happening within the next couple of days. What is that, Spirit? Something in your schedule may change in the next couple of days, group number 3. They showed me a clock, a watch, and then a calendar, like Google Calendar or something like that, Apple Calendar. It's like, a calendar app on a phone or on a device. So there's something you may be counting down. I'm hearing something about counting down. You've been counting down to something, or looking forward to something, or there's an upcoming event, or they're showing me a particular day. Like there's something within the next couple days that you've had something scheduled. That may change, is what they're saying. That may change. January. I heard something in January that happened was significant. So this was like the last January from whenever you're watching this reading, group 3. Something in January was significant. Maybe you scheduled this appointment or this thing back in January into your calendar, I don't know if you would be able to check and see when or if that was the case, but there's something significant happened in January that catalyzed this, or that was scheduled around this time. Things will unfold as they are meant to. Yeah, a lot of this is to do with trust, group number 3. Trusting the process, that this is all happening exactly as it is meant to, and in the exact timing, that it is very predestined is actually the word I'm getting, predestined to unfold in. And if it happened any sooner, it would be like a disappointment. So it's like, it's better to wait so that it actually works, Release any attachment to timing. Yeah, they're saying release is coming out right underneath obsessing over timing creates blocks. That's why it's important to release any attachment to timing. So even when we're talking about something happening in the next couple of months or in the next couple of days, we can have this awareness and not attach to it. So just because Spirit brings through some kind of information about timing doesn't mean we have to attach to it. It means we can hold it as a template, as a potential, but everything is working in these amazing machinations beyond our awareness. There's so much more that we don't see. Like when you think about synchronicities and different repeating symbols and sequences that unfold in your life, imagine the level of divine timing that had to coordinate, that Spirit had to coordinate to make that happen in your life, or that you had to create from this mental projection that you're creating of your reality to have that unfold in exactly the right timing. Again, this is what they're talking about. So it's like detaching from anything that says you need to do it by a particular time or something needs to happen. Okay, next year, something in January is going to be like this upcoming January of next year. No, they're correcting me. Sorry, they said that this was the previous January. Yeah, they're telling me something about January, the previous January from whenever you're watching this video. And it was like when the time ticked over into the new year, it triggered something. Maybe this shifted you in some way, group number 3. It shifted you in some way. And there's something that's going to come from this. Have faith. There's something that you're going to see in the next couple months in July, especially if you can have faith and just let go of how or when. Just be like, I know it's coming. Expectation without attachment is really hard to do, but that's how we manifest most efficiently. That's where the energy is focused, but not restricted. So it flows really effortlessly. Your ego mind is focused on the goal, but not attached to it. And so the divine can come in and make it happen for you. So I feel like there's a lot here to do with manifestation. Fall time could be significant as well, or could have been significant. And we have February. Oh my God, we have so much timing. January and February were very significant. Yeah, I'm feeling those ones being past tense. Okay. On the bottom, we have April. So you have all these months, all of these different months. Group number 3. October just flipped itself right over, fall time. Yeah, so there's something in October could be significant. Let me see. I'll fix the rest of these cards in a second. Within a month. Okay, so I'm gonna tap in and see what's going on here for you. Within a month, I just unconsciously put it there without thinking, and it's January, February. That's the span of a month. Okay, so look back in your calendar, group number 3. What was happening January, February time? What were you working on? What was in your calendar? What did you accomplish at that time? That may give you some indication as to what Spirit's referring to here with this. But yeah, I'm seeing that there was something about January and February that shifted. I'm hearing leap year. Was February a leap year? Something about a leap year. I think that's February. Or maybe you quantum leapt moving into this new year. Yeah, there's something about a leap, there was like a leap forward or leap, quantum leap. Stay positive about it. Yeah, that's the quantum leap. When you hold that high frequency, when you surrender, when you have faith, when you allow the divine to move things, and you just trust the process without needing to know every finite detail of it, and taking what Spirit does give you without attachment and just holding it gently, that's when these quantum leaps occur. Yeah, it's not the right time yet. We've seen that here. It's not the right time just yet, but there's a very specific reason for that. Okay, I just saw a flash of a BMW in my mind. I don't know who that is for, but I saw that clairvoyantly. There's something about a BMW. Okay. Summertime. That's within the next couple months from when I'm filming this. That's around July. Yeah, so this summer something is happening. Something that you've held faith on for a really long time. Don't force things. Yeah, do not force things. The easier you go at this, the faster this is going to manifest. Keep going with the flow of life. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what Spirit's saying. Let me see if I can balance this out a little bit better. So group number 3, I mean, with all of this timing involved, I'm seeing that you've been orchestrating something at soul level, right? You've had something in the plan or in the works for a long time, and Spirit has been kind of coaxing you or coaching you through this process is what they're showing me. And you've had to have faith. You've been tested, group number 3. You've been really tested. And I'm seeing some dark nights of the soul where you feared that this thing wasn't possible, or that it wasn't going to happen, or that the rug was going to be ripped out from underneath your feet, or it was too good to be true, or something like that. And you may have had to kind of come back to the drawing board several times over and over and over, kind of sitting yourself down or being sat down by Spirit and having to surrender anytime that the ego would get attached, or that it would start to think that it was almost time, or that it was ready, but it wasn't quite time, and then getting frustrated. I'm seeing this cycle or pattern that's been going on since last year, and leading into this year, through the spring, into the summer, and then there's something that's coming full circle in the summertime. And then it's around fall, there's a harvest. So they want you to keep having faith and to completely detach and surrender. That is what is going to allow this to flow in the exact right timing. It's don't put your hand in it, because the hand of the divine is guiding this all the way through. And anytime that you try to stick your hand in, it just kind of fumbles the results a little bit, and it takes more time. So just step all the way back, group number 3, and let this happen. Just let it happen. Don't attach to it. No fear, no anxiety. I know that's hard. Oh my God. I can hear you guys being but. No, I totally get it. I totally get it. I'm right there with you. Spirit has been testing me hardcore on these things. And when you're faced with the physical lack of what it is that you're needing or working on or manifesting, it is really hard to maintain that faith. It is really hard to remain detached. It is hard to trust this process. But this is the test, group number 3. And it's not a test that you can quote unquote fail. It's just testing you and your character to develop these qualities or skills within you, to temper your strength is what Spirit just said. Tempering your strength to be able to persevere through and be persistent in moving toward what it is that you desire. Maybe even what you've been promised. I just heard that as well. Maybe Spirit showed you something and said, this is going to be for you, but it hasn't shown up yet. And maybe you even had a timeline on when you thought this would happen, and then it didn't happen. But it's continuing to, can you trust, can you fully trust Spirit, even when that result doesn't show up right away? Like, can you be stubborn in your faith, but not attached? That's the thing. It's a fine balance. It's a tightrope that we have to walk every single day. And each day is going to have different pitfalls and different challenges that can cause us to lose our balance. But we just have to kind of get right back up there again and keep trying to maintain that equilibrium within ourselves. So there's something happening very quickly here within the next few days that you're going to want to watch out for. They're showing me, oh my God, I just got flashes of so many things. Okay, I saw a butterfly, I saw a battleship, and I heard the word battleship as well. So that could be like a symbol or a significator for you, a synchronicity. Yeah, so butterfly, battleship. And I don't know if this is related or if this is just my mind going off on a tangent, but when I said butterfly battleship, I heard the line from Dwight Schrute from The Office where he's like, Jim is impersonating him and he's like, beats, bears, Battlestar Galactica. So some reference from The Office. I was getting something earlier about like manifesting something about a schedule, something to do with work. So that could be the reference there as well, because everything that happens in a reading is relevant to some degree. So that's why I try to report everything that comes through in my mind, because it's all contextually, kind of fits together. So just watch kind of what happens in the next couple days. Some kind of a schedule shift or something to do with work could change. And this will show you very clearly what was catalyzed in January and February within that month span, and what you're working toward in the summer months and in the couple months that are coming up here. Okay? So stay positive about what it is that you're creating. Don't let go of your dream or your goal, but remain open to being repositioned or to the timing, rescheduling things for you. Trust your intuition, trust Spirit, trust yourself, like really is what I'm seeing here, group number 3. So I hope that this reading was helpful in some way, shape, or form. Don't attach to the timing. We've got that message here so many times, but I just got to say it again as a disclaimer. Don't attach to the timing. Just use that as like cues or something to see the bigger picture of the timeline, but not attached to it. It's like just look at it from a bird's eye perspective and go through this process with as much grace as possible. I'm sending you guys so much love, group number 3. I hope that this reading gave you some confirmation, validation of what you already know and how to move through this process a little easier. So good luck and many blessings on these upcoming manifestations in the months to come. I love you guys. Thank you so much to the subscribers who sent in these donation decks to us. If anyone is interested in sending in donation decks, they can be sent through the link in the description box below. My Amazon wish list is there, or you can send in recommendations, PayPal donations, anything like that, and I can add those decks that you would like to see here on the channel to our repertoire. I love you guys so much and I appreciate all your support. We'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right. Hi, group number 4. Welcome to your reading. You chose the Voice of the Soul's Oracle. So let's take a look at this Oracle deck. Obviously, this is my first time using it. So we'll see what the message is here for you from Spirit. And thank you so much to the donor who sent this one in to us. I'm loving all of these new Oracle decks. If you want to check out any of the other ones, feel free to do so. The other groups using those other Oracle decks. Okay, so for group number 4, what is the message that they are needing to hear right now? I feel this card. Freedom. Number 17 reminds me of the Star card in the tarot. So there's some kind of healing or relief that you're going through, group number 4, that is leading to freedom. I'm hearing spiritual liberation, actually. Wow, okay. Spiritual liberation. As above, so below could be significant. Divine masculine, divine feminine energy could be significant here as well. I'm just seeing these sort of like hands going in opposite directions. Yeah, so there's something the soul is doing right now that's balancing out, or you're getting freedom from something. Oh, freedom from karma. Yes. Okay. So you are spiritually liberating, meaning that you have transcended or are about to transcend or are transcending right now some kind of karma that was in your soul blueprint that was limiting you, keeping things out of balance or out of whack. And you're taking these higher level concepts and you're learning to integrate them at the physical level. I'm hearing mastery as well. So you're mastering your karma, you're understanding the lessons or the implications, you're unifying, balancing things out. I'm getting that so strongly. Balancing things out. Karmic message. Yeah, this is what this is. You are understanding the karmic message. It's like you can see the blueprint or the pattern or the cycle and you can break it. You know, I've worked extensively with karma, my own, other people's, doing Akashic readings and energy healing as well. And I got really familiar with different kinds of karmic patterns, like love-based karmic patterns, fear-based karmic patterns, all sorts of different, like there's so many, right? But the stamp of each one is very similar. Even though the circumstances, the people involved, the dynamics, the story, the narrative, the way we subjectively experience it is all very different and unique and individual, the karmic patterns themselves are kind of cookie cutter, almost to the point where I started being able to see karma very clearly and call it out. And then that's why I got really good at doing this job of being able to help people clear karma, because I can see what's going on, give you the bird's eye view of it so that you can break it yourself. And it's like you kind of have to see the cycle to be able to break it. Help. Okay. So maybe you're getting some kind of help to see this, because sometimes what happens is when we're in a karmic pattern, we're so deep into it that we don't see it. That's why people would come to me before for soul realignment readings. I don't offer those particular readings anymore. But maybe you're going to be getting help from someone who can help you, who can do this, who's good at this, or maybe it's through this reading, or maybe it's through me or my energy. I don't know. But there's some kind of help that you're getting to be able to see beyond what has been hidden in plain sight. Because that's what karma does. It hides in plain sight. And sometimes it takes an objective observer to be able to say, oh, look at this pattern. Have you seen that? What's going on with that? What's the motivation? Why are those actions repeating? What's the underlying core root of that? And what are you needing behind these repetitive unconscious cycles or behaviors? Or to see the connections or implications between the cause and the effect. Because sometimes it happens between or over such a long period of time that we don't put two and two together. Like we don't understand or correlate the cause with the effect. Yeah, what we've done and then what it results in. So I'm seeing you being, forgiveness is a huge way of clearing karma. It neutralizes karma because any attachments that were there would really just limit you. And it's through this karmic understanding that you're able to let go. And it's not like you need to forgive someone else necessarily. It's just kind of like you being able to let go. So yeah, I see you closing out a cycle. Number 19. I see you closing out a cycle. Guide. Getting help from a guide. You may be getting help from one of your spirit guides right now, group number 4, about how to clear this, how to break free from this pattern. This could even be past life related. And let me tell you, when I worked in the Akashic record to locate past life root causes of certain patterns, they always repeat in the present life in a very similar way. The situation may be different, the characters, the roles, the players are different, but the pattern or like the general script is the same. The energy is the same, the archetype, the theme, it's very repetitive. So if you are looking for the repetition, you will see what's going on here. Learning. You're learning how to see this. Yeah, because I'm seeing the crystal ball, like you're learning how to see it. You may be working with spirit guides that are helping you to look into the past as well, like past life observation or awareness. One of the ways that I would recommend doing that, if you're interested, group number 4, is to look at patterns around certain reactions that you have. Like basically look at your triggers, because your triggers, your fears or your phobias, or areas where you have consistent hardship or troubles, that is going to spell out A, B, and C as to how that's related to some kind of past life karmic pattern, or maybe something from childhood. Like not all karma is from past lives. We can create karma at any point in time. The core of it is really just being able to be aware of what the symptom is, or what like the outcome is of that karma. Yeah, so you're learning to identify it, you're learning to see it, you're getting help to be able to break the pattern and get free. Reproach. Ooh, reproach. I'm seeing something was tangled. You know, these two snakes are kind of tangled together here. You may have been hurt by someone else and entangled in a karmic web with this person. And if you're dreaming about a particular person, or you're thinking about a particular person a lot, or you even like bump into them, or they're like very in your face in that way, that can be Spirit's way of showing you, or this is even your own higher self and subconscious's way of showing you that there's something that needs to be resolved there. Respect. I heard beyond reproach when I turned over the respect card, and we just had the reproach card. So it's like you're beyond reproach because you're in reverence is actually the word I'm hearing. In reverence and respectful of how this relationship and this karma have taught you lessons about yourself. Because that's the other thing is that yes, there are other people who play out karma with us, but I can tell you that working in this line of work for years and years and years now, the more that we blame another person, the deeper we dig ourselves into our own karma, and we create a big old mess. So blame is a karmic attachment. That's why forgiveness frees you, because you're able to release the attachment to the other person and the role that they played, and instead take accountability for your part in the equation. You don't let the other person off scot-free, or yourself off scot-free, and you don't shame the other person or yourself either. It's this right in the middle where you're able to anchor into the truth of what you are learning from this situation. And if it's not the relationship with this person, it's going to be someone else. Like, it's not the other person, you know? But neither is it you being the problem. It's just, this is something that needs to be learned so that you can adapt and change your behaviors, because karma is created through action, repetitive action, and especially emotionally charged actions. That is what sets the karmic ball into motion, and forgiveness, acceptance, and understanding are what stops that momentum and that inertia in its tracks. So having the awareness, respecting and understanding, being able to perceive objectively the pattern and the truth of the situation, and being able to detach yourself from it so that you can change it. Source, connecting to source, to the source of truth. Seeing, okay, source is unity, right? This is the unity principle that we all reside in, that we come from, and that we will return to. We're actually not technically separated from it right now, but the way we perceive ourselves as individual, it can feel like that. So I'm seeing you coming into this state of unity consciousness. This is how you can clear large amounts of karma all at once, actually. You don't have to work necessarily through individual karmic patterns. If you can get into unity consciousness, you kind of like dissolve the karma off of you, because you're no longer seeing the other person as separate or the pattern as separate. You're able to really see how it all fits together. And in seeing it, you shift your approach, your perspective changes, your vibration changes, the actions and the behaviors are different, because you're not operating from separation or ego or the detached individual self. You're operating from unity principle. And so everything, it just like the karma just burns right off. It's like, and you have reunion on the bottom as well. So I feel like there's a spiritual reunion within yourself that is coming from this. Secrets revealed. And it's interesting that we have the pendulum here, because when I did soul realignment Akashic readings, when I first started out, I used a pendulum to get the answers, to find yes or no's. And using a pendulum without connecting to the fifth dimension is a little bit hit or miss. Like, I remember trying to use pendulums for my own personal questions, and it was always kind of like hit or miss. I couldn't really trust it. But when I started using them by connecting to the Akashic field, the results were impeccable every time. Still, reading for myself was a little bit dubious, but reading for other people was really spot on. And I thought that was so cool when I was first starting out and I started seeing these other people's secrets very clearly. I've never met them before, and I would just like divulge all their secrets and they'd be in shock, and I'd be like, I'm sorry, this is just, it's in your cache, like it's written in plain sight. But it just needed to be seen, revealed, so that there could be freedom. So I'm seeing you being able to get free, totally, from any karma that was consistently holding you back. And there could be something to do with relationships here, because I was kind of feeling that, group number 4. So I got to say it, like, this is you understanding your relationship with other people, and how when you're separated from yourself, it creates karma, because you're operating from you versus me, or me versus you, instead of, oh, everything is me, mirroring back different parts that I haven't integrated yet. Love. Yeah, I had a feeling love was part of this. So this could be negative soulmate contracts. I've seen a ton of those in people's soul blueprints. I had a bunch too. So like, no shade. It's just how we learn, And yeah, it's coming out of learning in karma. So you're learning through shifting these relationship patterns. And it's different from person to person, the types of lessons that we're learning. But ultimately, the balancing comes from understanding that that other person is not separate from you. You are an individual separate self, but they are at a larger level, you interacting with you. And so if you look at the dynamic and you take the other person out of it and just kind of look at how you're operating within yourself and fix it from the inside out, start operating differently on the internal, and then see how that plays out in the physical, then you start to see the patterns being revealed, the secrets come to light, and you're able to move past these patterns of the past that were primarily unconscious. Loss. Okay. This could have been a karmic pattern around losing someone. Yeah, losing someone, being rejected. Push and pull between two people is what I'm feeling. Push and pull. Education. Learning and education. This is part of your spiritual curriculum, group number 4. Mirror effect. That's what I was saying. You see, everyone is a mirror. Every relationship we have with other people in the outside world is a mirror. And a lot of the times what happens unconsciously is that we project into that mirror, or that mirror projects onto us. So I'm seeing you doing a lot of healing here, group number 4. And this is part of the education that is helping you to see yourself more clearly. Yeah, you're going to see yourself so much more clearly. And then the relationships you have will positively reflect that. The Black Panther could be significant. I saw a synchronicity of that earlier today. Yeah, and it was in a movie with Jennifer Aniston and Gerard Butler called The Bounty Hunter. Yeah, and I've also been seeing handcuffs as a synchronicity all week. So it's like you may have felt like you were handcuffed to a particular person, but you also may have gone through loss with this person too, like a divorce or a breakup or a separation in these different lifetime cycles. And there's a process of understanding what this person is teaching you about admitting the truth to yourself, being honest, not keeping things secret, being open, and doing that with yourself first and foremost so that you can better assess whether the other person is able to mirror that back to you or not. Not everyone is a clear mirror. That's the thing. The healthy relationships that are aligned with that source unity, they will be perfect mirrors for you, and everything will be open and honest and mutual. The distorted negative soulmate relationships really show up when we are disconnected from ourselves, and so we're unconsciously projecting out into the world these unmet needs or these unconscious fears or these distorted beliefs. And then as a result, we attract someone, or we are attracted to someone who embodies all of the opposites of those traits. So it's like the anxious person is drawn to the avoidant person, or the avoidant person tries to push and run away from the anxious, or like it's these runner chaser dynamics. It's these push-pull dynamics that I'm talking about here that ultimately are not self-respecting. Because if we enter into those patterns, we self-abandon, and then we get wrapped up and entangled. We lose ourselves in the process. We start seeing ourselves even less clearly. So that's meant to be a catalyst to make you go inward, but oftentimes what we do is we just chase continually outward until the pattern becomes so painful and obvious that we are forced to address what needs to be seen within ourselves and to be accountable to it. And self-forgiveness is part of this too. We mustn't forget about self-forgiveness, because without that, we just perpetuate that same cycle and repetition of self-rejection or reproach or abandonment. So truly, the whole core of this, the reason why you're doing this karmic clearing in lessons, group number 4, is because you're meant to reunite with yourself. You're meant to be in healthy relationship to you and with you. And then you will choose differently. Your actions will reflect that. Your boundaries will be different. The types of people you're attracted to or that you attract will be completely different. It's a whole new template, a freedom template that comes from your authentic, unified self, your whole self, which is the healed version of you, rather than the separated, fragmented self that is seeking itself outside itself, which makes no sense. You can't find yourself outside of yourself. You can only find yourself inside. And then that's mirrored back. So this is the core of this message. Group number 4 is to understand this karma, how it has played out in your life, and what you are needing from you to be able to resolve this within yourself. That's when you'll see things shift on the outside. So I hope that this was helpful. If you guys are interested in doing any kind of karmic clearing, I do have mentorship sessions available. Those are the only containers I currently offer that can help you. And it's kind of a combination of counseling, therapy, energy healing, energy reading, sometimes cards as well. I kind of just like do everything in my repertoire, in my spiritual tool belt to help you to become your highest, most aligned self, basically, to walk this path home to you, to reunite. So if you're interested, that's always in the description box. And I want to say a big thank you to the donor who sent in this particular deck, and to all the subscribers and members who sent in decks used in today's reading and in the past as well. And if you guys want to support the channel, you can send in decks if you want to, or you can like the video, share it with a friend, stick around for more readings, become a member. Super thanks is always welcomed and expanded out with multiplied blessings. So yeah, there's many different ways. Take your pick. But I want to say thank you. I love you guys, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye.